lado. Tô jogando de soltar com força, vagabunda, me deixa de chocar.
Yo, what it does, YouTubes? What it does, YouTubes? What it does? Salute to you guys and welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. I am your handsome host, and you are my most beautifulest viewer. And I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're having a spectacular night. I hope that the moonlight is dancing on your eyelashes while you look deeply into your lover's soul and so forth and so forth. But as for me, I am just here painting and chilling and relaxing and kicking it and so forth and so forth. But don't know what we're getting into yet. I still do have a obligation to do a stream for a certain somebody. Cake Mix, are you here? If you're here, let me know, my G. And if not, then I want to wait until you are here. But don't really got a topic tonight, guys. I just felt good. Felt like a nice night, man. Got the hold on, sorry. I'm taking this. One of my favorite hobbies is to redesign jewelry boxes, and I got a fresh one, so I'm just barely taking it apart, getting it nice and broken down to its little base level, and then we're gonna start making it look nice and pretty. But how are you guys doing, man? I hope y'all having a good night. I hope that y'all having a beautiful night, and I hope that blessings are finding you. Okay, I just got one more on the top to go, and then I'm gonna shut it down. So hang on. Yeah, I tell you what. I am not an expert of many things. I'm what you would call a jack of all trades and a master of none. Therefore, I find it fairly, I wouldn't say easy, but not so difficult to do most tasks. But I do not have expertise in many things. But one thing I can tell you I am an expert of is being happy, guys. I love to be happy, and I'm good at it. And I've never really found it hard. Oftentimes people that I run across, man, they really just have this thing inside of them that does not want them, or I don't know. I don't know if it's something inside of them. I don't know if it's them themselves. I don't know if it's something that was taught to them, but just this thing that just does not allow them to be happy, And I've never had that. I've never had that. I've always been able to kind of compartmentalize different things, put them in their different uh, respects or whatever in my head or mentally or emotionally, and always been able to find the happiness. As a matter of fact, I was telling my beautiful, amazing, beautiful, just incredibly beautiful friend and future wifey, Penelope. I was telling her about this one time that me and my family went to Disneyland, and my niece, my niece that I'm the closest with, that's my little partner, man, my little mini me. But I always give her a hard time and bug her and stuff, and like always laugh and joke at her, or used to when she was a baby, and she would get so angry. And while we're there at Disneyland one day, I'm making fun of her, like just giving her a hard time, messing with her, and she looks at me and she says, "You know what, Donnie?" She gets so angry. She goes, "You know what, Donnie?" And I go, "What?" And she goes, "Everything isn't always so happy." And I was like, "Oh, is that right, Little Miss Melancholy or whatnot?" I was like, "Tell me about it." But that's always kind of just been the way that I am. Always try to find the happy. Hey, Jen, welcome in. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you are having a beautiful night. But yeah, a lot of times people say, I mean, and this is a debate or discussion that I've had many times under many different uh like like subjects of if it's a choice, do we make each other mad? Do we make each other happy? Do we make each other this and that? And I don't believe that you can make anybody anything. Hanging in there, you too. Yep, I'm hanging in there. Shoot, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, all things considered. I hope you are also. I hope that you aren't letting any of the meaningless stresses of life get to you. But I've said this many times also, that my dad was a heart transplant recipient at 41 and passed away. And what do you call it? He never did any hard drugs. He just drank, and he was very angry. And I will always believe that anger gave him heart failure. But he was the angriest person you would ever see, man. Like, he was so angry, he had like a cloud of anger that followed him. People were terrified of him. My dad was like the fucking boogeyman. But as soon as I got one more, I want to take a look at something. I've been having this video on reserve for the longest time now, and I just saw it on my SD card, and I thought, you know what? It's a perfect time to check it out. Let me see. Oh, not an image. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I've never watched this video. I saw the beginning of it a long time ago and wanted to watch it with you guys. And here we are.
It's Saturday at 6 p.m. and I'm sitting alone in my apartment at my desk staring at my computer. Like 99.999% of every other Saturday. And I went to get a pizza because I still don't know how to eat right. And, you know, Dartmouth is graduated or graduating, and this always happens when I drive in on the weekend to get my unhealthy food that I eat alone in my apartment, and I see all of them, all of the Dartmouth students, in their really cute outfits, walking around downtown, holding hands, walking down to the river to swim, walking to their apartment, sitting out on the green with friends. Stuff to do, or going back to their dorm so they can probably do stuff later because it's a Saturday. And I get my pizza and I go back to my apartment because I don't have any friends. And honestly, I don't think I've ever had friends, not like real friends. I mean, obviously, I had like friends in high school and college, but it was the most superficial level. If I was in class, I would have people to talk to. People liked me. I don't think I was a totally unlikable person. And I would do after school activities, and people would talk to me, and I had people that I was close to. But we never did anything besides that. I never did anything after school in high school. If I did, it was rare. Like the times, like prom.
All right, so let's stop it right there. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is friends outside of school. It's almost like as if, oh, what's up, Storm? Salute, my G, and welcome in. We might get a little bit emo on this one, so buckle up, my G. But no, no, I modified the video so that I didn't get copyright struck on it. I did that. I messed with the video, Jen. Oh, tight. More work on the Jeep. Nice. But okay. Have y'all noticed that it seems like it seems like if you don't make it out of school with your friends, man, it's almost impossible to develop them for a lot of people. Like, and for myself, that hasn't always been the case. But I know that whenever I know I'm a lot more outspoken than a lot of people. Like I will just straight up go if I see somebody that I think is interesting, I'll just go right up to them and start talking to them. But a lot of people won't do that. Like a lot of people don't want the hassle or whatnot. But Storm says I can see that I got my GED. Okay, so you know what I mean then. Like a lot of times when and the GED thing is a good example of how like you didn't exit school with your friends when you get your GED. So therefore, like it's not the same. Like the people that all exited school at the same time seem to stick together a lot more easily, and it seems a lot harder for the others to make friends.
Mom had to ask a friend's son to ask me, and then he left early with another girl, which at the time I thought was hilarious. Because I could tell a story to my friends, and maybe that would be interesting. I haven't spoken to any of them in person. I'll see them on Instagram, but we've never hung out with any of my friends from high school. Same thing with college. I mean, it started senior year, but like the second people started doing stuff on the weekends, I was always alone in my dorm room watching all the other kids walk to the parties. I've never had a friend that I would just spend time with and tell everything to. I really thought I got close with Caitlin and Molly and Katrina and Aaron. And it's been 2 years. I haven't made a single friend. And there was a girl I met on Bumble, but I never went anywhere and she moved. And you know what? It's my fault. Because, I complain about not having anyone, but the minute anyone does come to my life and I have a chance, I do nothing with it. She made me over to her apartment. We peaked. I couldn't talk to her. But every time she texted me, I would wait like a day to respond. And when we made plans, I would always feel awkward about it because all I wanted to do was be back in my apartment. Then in my apartment, I'm alone.
Okay, perfect time to stop it because for the sake of reality, I need you guys to understand that this is only one dimension of it. This is what makes this such a bizarre phenomenon to me is this same woman that cries these tears of loneliness will also, and I'm just saying I'm just going by the average, by what happens on average. This same person will turn down the opportunity to hang out with friends, or will turn down the opportunity to go out with a less than perfect guy or something. Like, I don't know romantically what this girl is interested in, but I know on average, a lot of people's standards are ridiculously high and very hard to meet. But let's continue.
So it's like, what the fuck is wrong with me that I complain about this and then I make no effort to try to change it? I mean, ever since I started applying to grad school, I gave up and tried to make friends here. And it's noticeable my landlord, Lane, keeps commenting on how all of her past tenants do things on the weekends, basically calling me like a friendless loser, which is true, but like, to hear her just say that to me was really hard. And that's why I feel like, you know, I mentioned earlier that I'm about to enter my mid-20s, and I feel like I have no experiences or social skills. It's not just that I don't have them, it's that I feel like I'm delayed. By the time I do make friends, it's just going to be so late for me. Yeah, don't even get into relationships. I mean, that's the same story, but I feel like that's a whole fucking other mess, you know? And everyone tells me I'm young and I have time, but it's still hard. So gross. I'm sorry. I know I was emotional. I didn't think I'd cry like this. I just don't know what's wrong with me. That I can't make it work. That I'm just lazy when it comes to making friends. I just want it to be easy, you know? When you just find that person that you're with all the time, and again, I'm not talking romantically. And it's been hard, especially with mom and dad, because before I would just talk to them because I had no one else. And now with all the divorce stuff, there's stuff I can't talk to them about, and I don't know what, and Travis and Kyle are too emotional, and I can't talk to anyone. And I just look at myself and I don't know. I'm wasting all these days. I just feel so lonely. I'm just so lonely all the time. But I'm also terrified of it, and I also want to be alone. Like, maybe I'm just meant to be alone. Maybe some people are meant to just be alone. And I just feel like I'm expected to have people. Like when I picture my future, I see what I want. But when I think what's actually going to happen, I see myself being that woman in her 40s who never found anybody. So I don't know, like I adopt a kid or like get like IVF or something. Like
Now, and this is hard, man. This is hard for me to even listen to, but what do you call it? I gotta stop and add my 2 cents in where I can. But when if y'all notice, y'all hear me say a lot often. Y'all hear me often say that there's a lot less people in the world than we think. That there isn't as many people in the world than we think that there is, and this is actually one of the reasons why it's important for us to understand that is because the way that populations and societies and whatnot, all these groups of people out there in the world, the are supposedly out there. The trick of it is that we're told that there's so many of them that it's just a mathematical impossibility that our perfect person doesn't exist, or that's a double negative, so I'll say that it's a mathematical certainty that they do exist, when I don't think that that's necessarily the case. And I don't think that this it's like what I call like the Prince Charming effect. It's like you think that there's so many people out there that you're not going to settle for this person that has everything else that you or friends even. This happens with friends too, that they do everything else just the right way, but they do this one thing that you can't stand. And now it's a deal breaker. When back in the days, you used to back in the day, and I don't know. I'm not gonna give like a I don't know what days, but back when you used to have to endure a lot more of that stuff in order to keep and make friends, in order to keep and make relationships. And I think that this is why they say